When I was at Maker Faire when I was a sophomore, which my brother describes it as Comic-Con for engineers. So a whole bunch of people that like to build stuff, they all come together in New York City every fall and they show off all these cool things that they built. I actually brought a wrist-mounted flamethrower that I had built, and it was just for fun. It had nothing to do with the idea grant. And I saw this company called Enable, and they made hands for kids that don't have fingers, they just kind of have a palm. And these hands are like $5 in plastic from a 3D printer and some hardware from the hardware store. So for $5 you can give a kid who doesn't have any fingers and essentially no control of that limb a hand again. But it was only for kids that don't have fingers. And I wondered if I could do this for someone that had a mid-forearm amputation as opposed to just missing their fingers. So I started working on it as just kind of a project, and then I applied for the idea grant for it. So my project is a completely 3D printed and customizable prosthetic hand that uses muscle control or electromyography. When the amputee squeezes a muscle, it sends a signal to a little computer on board, and then that makes the hand open and close. The whole thing is automatically generated in the computer from like 8 measurements that you can take from the amputee's remaining hand. It automatically creates a perfectly scaled, perfectly sized prosthetic hand based on their remaining hand. I also use 3D scanning to scan the remaining part of the amputee's forearm and use that scan to print a rubbery socket that actually fits directly over the amputee's remaining forearm. A prosthetic hand is one of the absolute most customized things that you can get for yourself. It's actually replacing a part of your body, and it needs to interface perfectly with what remaining part you have. So what really makes a prosthetic hand expensive is the fact that it needs to be customized. And usually that means a long line of highly trained and highly paid professionals to make this perfectly customized thing for someone. So my goal was to try and find a way to make this whole thing automated, make all those customization procedures just happen instantly on the computer, which takes the cost out of it. After I finished my idea grant, I applied for Innovation Quest, and I used my prototype from the idea grant to apply for Innovation Quest, and I got into the incubator and I came in second, and then that showed me that I could start my own business doing this. So the idea grant gave me the confidence to take this project and do something else with it and ultimately start a company around building prosthetic hands. It actually got me my first job too. When I was at Maker Faire showing off the prosthetic hand, I met my future employer and he gave me a business card, and I went for an interview, and I was an intern there last summer, and I'm working there next fall. So the idea grant has done a tremendous amount for me as a person, for my career, you name it. My name is Stephen Hawes, and I'm an engineer.